So Netflix recently released the Rocko's Modern Life special, like the big return of this franchise, like a good nostalgia throwback special. I was super excited about this, really hyped, and really disappointed by it. I had really high expectations for it, and I was just really, really disappointed. In fact, I'd say I didn't really like the special much at all. Um, Apparently, I'm not alone in that because a lot of people seem to dislike this special, but for completely different reasons than I did. Yeah, I'm not with them. Like, if you click this video thinking I'm about to, like, trans bash, you're wrong. I'm about to bash the trans bashers. So you can either listen to me talk shit about them if you are one of them, and maybe you'll, be swayed. I'm not going to be particularly nice to transphobes, but, if you want to stick around, maybe, maybe you're open-minded. But yeah, no, this is to basically just say, like, how dumb I think this whole thing is. Like, people out there yelling, "Oh my god, Rocko's Modern Life, they ruined it! The SJWs have tainted my childhood again! First it was She-Ra, a show I didn't actually watch as a child, and now they're gonna destroy Rocko, a show I actually care about." Really, people? Okay. One, I have a lot of trouble believing that people are that upset about a minor character who was in a whopping 2 episodes of the original show. Like, really? That's what you're saying? Like, they took a minor character in two episodes, and brought them back for the special and revealed that they are transgender. Really? And for those who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, for some reason, like, you've clicked this video and you do not, know the controversy. Rocko's Modern Life, a show from the 90s. It was a Nicktoon. It was really goddamn good. One of my personal favorites growing up. Over 2 years ago, it was announced that there was going to be a Rocko's Modern Life, like, revival movie. Just like a throwback, the original creators coming back to bring Rocko back, like, one more time. And in it, they revealed that Ralph Bighead, the child of Bev and Ed Bighead, Rocko's neighbors, was now a transgender woman named Rachel Bighead. So yeah, I think it was handled incredibly well. Like, that's the thing, like if this were poorly handled transgender representation, and people were really upset about that, that would be understandable. It's like, wow, like, you're just telling mean transgender jokes. No, in fact, this is done like, this is like one of the most positive portrayals of a transgender character I've seen in media. Not children's media. Because, like, mainstream media tends to be, like, really shitty towards trans people. They tend to be the butt of jokes. Usually jokes revolving around trans panic. Or they're, like, sex workers. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But, sex workers. Sometimes sex workers who are murdered. And then there's, like, some forensic scientist who needs to solve the mystery. Anyhow, trans characters not exactly represented well in media ever, regardless of who the hell it's for. Unless you go to, like, the more niche ends of entertainment. But yeah, as far as, like, mainstream entertainment goes, especially mainstream entertainment for children, like, no. Rachel's depiction in this show is really goddamn good. So yeah, like, what has everybody in a fucking tizzy? Well, obviously, like I said, the SJWs, the snowflakes, they're ruining it. They forced in a transgendered character into my childhood show. Okay, like, I don't know what you mean by forced. Like, that's the thing, like, I keep seeing that as one of the things. Like, why did they have to force a transgender? It's like, no, like, they just revealed that she is transgender. Like, there's been, like, a big long time gap. No one's seen her in quite a while. She was literally only in that 2-parter. And then, like, a cameo in the background of, like, a Christmas episode. That's it. Like, there is, like, nothing else that we've done with this character. So, it seems to be with these people that any trans representation is forced representation. And it's weird, too, because, like, usually people will be like, well, there's no story reason for them to be trans. Because clearly trans people need to have some sort of plot-related reason to exist within a fictional world. Like, a person just can't also be trans. They have to have, like, why are they trans in this story? Why did it have to be a trans person that you... Because, okay, even if you had that shitty complaint, which is completely invalid, there is a story reason. Like, it ties back into both the theme of the special, which is change, which is dealing with change and accepting new and different things. And also, like, it ties into, like, just the plot of the special, where, like, Rachel comes back and Ed is rejective because, of course, her father, who's kind of straight-laced business suit guy, is going to be rejective of his transgender daughter. It's going to be a thing. So, yeah, like, it works within the narrative, it works within the theming, so she is 100% not forced into this story at all. And if you're thinking, well, what about the children? The children who are going to be so confused. Children aren't confused by transgender people. Like, literally, children's minds are incredibly malleable. Like, you tell these little shit goblins that a bearded man breaks into your house once a year to leave them presents, and they believe you. Kids will accept anything as long as you just tell them. If you try to teach them that transgenders are bad or weird or wrong and different and should be marginalized, then yeah, they're gonna grow up not really understanding it and then become kind of shitty adults who need to grow out of that mindset eventually. Or get a job working for Fox News. But kids aren't, like, prejudgmental. Like, you can just, explain this concept to them. And if you're worried, well, it's going to confuse my kids, because then my kids are going to think they're transgender. Okay, let me just say, like, exposing children to, like, that the fact that, like, transgender people exist is not going to make your child trans, unless your child is trans. Like, the only thing it's going to do is, one, if they are trans, it is going to make them come to this realization sooner. So they'll probably be, like, less miserable in their early life and not have to, like, grow up in a constant state of confusion because they just never had the words or just the understanding to figure themselves out. Like, trans media is not going to make your kid trans. If your kid's trans, they're going to be trans. Like, they might reject the idea because they've been raised against it, and they'll be miserable and kind of self-loathing and a lot of other things. But it's not like if you're more okay with having a miserable, depressed, cisgender child than you are a happy or happier transgender child, that sounds like a problem with you, and you sounds like you're kind of a selfish, shitty bigot. And then the other big complaint I keep seeing floating around the internet is that Rocko is getting political. It's shoving politics where it doesn't belong in children's media. And transgender people existing and acknowledging their existence is not a political statement. I mean, unless you consider, like, just the fact that their existence is political, and it's not. They're just people. Like, I don't understand that. Like, yeah, we have political issues where people, like, on the right are trying to legislate gender and legislate the discrimination against trans people to make it okay. And we should not be okay with that, because discriminating any human being is objectively bad and terrible. And did I mention bad? Like, it's not political. It's just reflecting the modern age that we live in. In case you didn't realize, the name of the show is Rocko's Modern Life. The point of Rocko's Modern Life was to depict American life, like, in the 90s in this hyper-exaggerated fashion. Like, Rocko has tackled things that are actually political, like consumerism, like capitalism, like everything about that show, like, just from like Klinglamo, like, you know, like their motto is that we own you. It's like that's political because it's talking about how like corporations control everything, including the people, and that they just manipulate everything and make people's lives miserable to crank every last little cent out of them. In fact, oh my god, the more I'm thinking about, like, Rocko's Modern Life is more culturally relevant now than it was in the fucking 90s, for fuck's sake. But, yeah. Like, Rocko's Modern Life was always meant to depict modern life. Like, modern American life, but in a hyper-stylized, cartoonish, farcical way. And transgendered people are a part of modern life. Whether you like it or not, they are going to exist. You're not going to stop this. And if you are convinced that they are bad and wrong and just need to go away and stop existing and go to, like, Christian conversion camps, you're the problem. You're the bad one. And you're kind of a piece of shit. So yeah, the new Rocko's Modern Life special, it is not what I would call good, but not for the reasons that people are bitching and complaining about. Rachel Bighead is a fantastic character. She is like the shining gem of that special. She's, like I said, one of the, God, may actually be just straight up the best trans representation I've seen in media. Because, you know, there isn't a whole lot. And we need more of it. Like, people want to talk about how, like, oh, like, people want more transgender characters in fucking superhero movies and shit. It's just like, yeah, no. Because, like, media shapes us. And, like, that's, like, one of the things, like, oh, shitty bigoted parents don't want their kids watching Rocko's Modern Life or this special because it'll make their kids grow up to think that transgender people are, gasp, people? And then they might grow up to respect them and give them rights. Oh my god! Fuck you. Fuck you if you hold that belief. Oh, and by the way, fuck like every goddamn transphobe who are bitching and moaning about this goddamn special on Twitter and spoiling the reveal of Rachel Bighead for me. Fuck off. That would have been really goddamn nice to have, like, experienced and not known that was gonna be a thing that was going to happen. Like, I was still surprised that she was such a big part of the story, that so much of the story was going to revolve around her. But, like, the moment, like, the story became about the fatheads and reviving that show, I'm like, oh man, she's gonna be a really big part of this special. Well, now I'm really upset that got fucking spoiled. So, fuck you, you shitty, bigoted pieces of shit for, like, taking that one fucking surprise away from me.